Shalom Aleichem, everyone. Welcome to day 2 of our Torah personalities from Eretz Yisrael. Last night I was recording on the way back from an army base in the far south of the country, and now I am on my way out of a base in the center of the country. Today's Torah personality that we're going to be from Eretz Yisrael was also born in Eastern Europe, moved to Israel in the early pre-state era, and developed a tremendous following of Talmidim who flourished under, I guess, what we would call today the Bnei Akiva model, the Bnei Akiva system, and that is Rav Moshe Tzvi Neriah, Zecher Tzadik L'Bracha. Rav Neriah came to Israel and became a very close disciple of Rav Avram Yitzchak HaKohen Kook, and Rav Neriah established a yeshiva in Kfar HaRoeh and became a very influential educator and ultimately a Chaver Knesset. In the 1930s, when there were terrible anti-Jewish riots, Rav Neriah published a public letter, an article in the newspaper, which develops an idea that we can really tap into. It's an Eretz Yisrael idea, but it resonates with all of us, and that is the idea of being rooted, having shorashim. The pasuk describes that when we come into Eretz Yisrael, Kisovo el Eretz unetaitem kol eitz machol. There's a specific mitzvah, there's an inyan, there's a mission to plant trees. What's the significance of planting trees? It's because trees have roots, and the Rebbeinu Shalom wants us to realize the significance of our roots. He quotes a beautiful, magnificent Pirkei Reb Lezer. The Medrash says, "B'shah shekorsin eitza ilan." You know, there's an Issa D'Oraisa, there's a biblical prohibition for cutting down a fruit tree. So the Medrash says, when God forbid, if a person were to cut down a fruit tree, every time a person cuts down eitz ha'ilan she'osa pri, a fruit tree that bears fruit, hakol yotze misofa olavad sofo. It cries, the voice of the cut down tree cries from one end of the earth to the other. Cutting down a fruit tree, of course, our goal in life is to create peiros. But by cutting it down, what we're doing is really uprooting the peiros from the earth. Haboim yashri shiakov yotzitz ufarach Yisrael, the pasuk says in the Navi Yeshaya. Each one of us is an eitz. The pasuk says, Ki ha'adam eitz hasadeh. We're an eitz. We start our life with deep roots that come from the earth, from our parents, from our previous generations. Then we grow up as a trunk, making our foundation. Then we go through periods that's a little bit wild, maybe that's all over the place, that's expected that it's going to be, filled, you would say in Yiddish. It's all over the place. It's going to be rebellious, and those are the branches. But ultimately, it's going to be set. It's going to be set finally with a beautiful peiros, please God, with Siyata Dishmaya. But all of that only happens if we have shorashim, if we have roots. The idea of being settled in Eretz Yisrael is that we are a people that have roots, and that's why the land is so significant. Because obviously, there's a relationship between a land and roots. The people who are para adam, they're wild, says Rav Neriah, they don't have roots. Am Yisrael, the connection to our land is what establishes our roots. Our roots go way deep, all the way back to Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, and that's something that is part of our identity today in Eretz Yisrael, of course, but even to a lesser extent, but to a similar extent in Chutz La'aretz, realizing that we have roots in Knesset Yisrael that go all the way back.